The salty sea breeze brushed against Jack Dawson's face as he stood on the shores of Blackwater Bay, staring at an old parchment in his hands. The map, tattered and faded, had been passed down through generations in his family. His grandfather had always spoken of a hidden treasure, one that had been lost for over 300 years, buried somewhere deep within the treacherous Isla de Sombras, the Island of Shadows. Jack had always dismissed these stories as myths, until now. After his grandfather's passing, Jack found a wooden chest hidden beneath the old man's bed. Inside, along with dusty letters and a rusted compass, was the ancient map, marked with an X in the middle of an uncharted island. "This is it," Jack whispered to himself. "This is real." Determined to uncover the mystery, he set off on a journey that would change his life forever. Jack couldn't do this alone. He needed a team. First, he went to find his childhood friend, Emily Carter, a skilled navigator and historian. She had spent years studying ancient legends and pirate lore. When Jack showed her the map, her eyes widened in disbelief. "This symbol," she pointed to an emblem on the corner of the parchment, "belongs to Captain Edward Thorne, one of the most feared pirates of the 17th century. If this map is real, then we might be looking for Thorne's lost treasure." Next, they recruited Sam Malik, a deep-sea diver and expert in shipwrecks, and Carlos Rivera, a fearless sailor with a fast ship named the Stormbreaker. "Are you all ready for the adventure of a lifetime?" Jack asked as they gathered at the docks. Carlos smirked. "I was born ready, amigo." With supplies packed and the map in hand, they set sail toward the Island of Shadows, unaware of the dangers that awaited them. The voyage was not easy. Storms raged, waves crashed against the Stormbreaker, and mysterious shadows lurked beneath the water. One night, as Emily studied the map under lantern light, she noticed hidden markings that were only visible under the moon. "This isn't just a map," she said. "It's a puzzle." The next morning, they reached the Isla de Sombras. The island was covered in dense jungles, with mountains rising like jagged teeth. As they anchored near the shore, something felt off. "This place is too quiet," Sam muttered. Then, out of nowhere, an arrow whizzed past Jack's ear, embedding itself in a tree. "Ambush!" Carlos shouted. A group of masked figures emerged from the jungle, their weapons drawn. The crew raised their hands as the masked figures surrounded them. The leader, a tall man with piercing eyes, stepped forward. "You seek the treasure of Captain Thorne," he said in a deep voice. "But it is not meant for outsiders." Emily, thinking quickly, pulled out the map. "We are not thieves. We only seek the truth about Thorne's treasure." The man studied the map, then nodded. "Come with us." They were led to a hidden village deep in the jungle, where the descendants of Captain Thorne's crew had lived for centuries. The village elder, an old woman named Isabella Thorne, told them the truth. "The treasure exists," she said, "but it is cursed." According to legend, Captain Thorne had angered the gods by stealing sacred gold from an ancient temple. The treasure was hidden deep in the Cave of Echoes, guarded by traps and spirits of the past. Jack and his crew had a choice: turn back or face the dangers ahead. "We've come too far to stop now," Jack said. Guided by the villagers, they trekked through the jungle until they reached the entrance of the Cave of Echoes, a massive cavern with walls covered in glowing symbols. Carlos lit a torch, and suddenly, whispers filled the air. Shadows flickered along the walls, and the deeper they went, the louder the whispers became. They encountered traps, spiked floors, collapsing tunnels, and an underground river filled with deadly eels. Sam nearly fell into a pit, but Jack pulled him back just in time. Finally, they reached a massive chamber where a golden chest sat on a stone pedestal. The air was heavy, as if the spirits of the past were watching. Jack slowly approached, heart pounding. As he touched the chest, the ground began to shake violently. A deep roar echoed through the cave. "We have to move now," Emily shouted. Jack and Carlos lifted the chest as the walls began to crumble. Rocks fell, and the cave entrance started collapsing. With seconds to spare, they ran for their lives. Just as they reached the cave entrance, the ground gave way, and Jack fell into the darkness. "Jack!" Emily screamed. Jack landed in a small underground chamber. In front of him was an old skeleton wearing a pirate's hat. The skeleton clutched a rusted dagger, and beside it lay a letter, written in faded ink. It read, "To whoever finds this, the treasure is cursed. Greed led to my downfall, and it will lead to yours. Leave now, or suffer the same fate." Jack hesitated. Was the treasure really worth it? Then he heard Emily's voice above. "Jack, grab my hand." Jack looked at the treasure, then at his friends. He made his choice. He left the gold behind and climbed back up. "Where's the treasure?" Carlos asked, panting. Jack smiled. "We have something more valuable, our lives." As they left the island, a thunderous sound erupted behind them. The cave entrance collapsed completely, burying the treasure forever. Back in Blackwater Bay, Jack sat on the docks, looking at the dagger and letter he had taken from the cave. This was never about the gold, he said. It was about the adventure, the history, and the stories we'll tell. Emily, Sam, and Carlos smiled. "To the greatest adventure of our lives," Emily said, raising her glass. Jack grinned. "And to the one still waiting for us." As the sun set, Jack knew his journey wasn't over. There were more mysteries to uncover, more legends to explore. The lost treasure of Captain Thorne was gone forever, but the legend would live on.